want you to meet one of the most interesting women of our time, the world's greatest lady animal trainer, mistress of the tigers, Mabel Stark.
Mabel is the only woman in history to break, train, and perform with tigers.
The rumor that we always heard was that she ran off with a man from Texas who was circus or carnival related.
She took with this carny. They worked their way out here to the West Coast, and she wound up in Venice, California.
Do you recall, Mabel?
I think I like California much better than I did any other town I'd ever been in.
She told me she was walking, and she heard the call of a tiger. And she walked over and saw that the cats were all in cages, and she said this huge face turned around and looked at her. It was her epiphany. She had seen her first tiger, and she was never going to leave tigers.
Every morning after these tiger babies came to my care, I washed their faces just as I would wash my own babies' faces. And don't they love it? They're lots nicer about it than human babies.
The world of being a big cat trainer was a super masculine world. Really, until the 20th century, women worked as assistants. Mabel Stark, I think, is the most telling example of this incredibly celebrated big cat trainer. The girl who grew up in poverty, who becomes this kind of centerpiece as a woman in an age in which women had just recently gotten the right to vote.
I had firmly made up my mind to go to the top, regardless of the price I might have to pay.
Oh, no!
You've been mauled, haven't you?
Quite a few times.
The shows were built upon the possibility of an accident.
It all happened so quickly. I turned my back, and a couple of tigers jumped on me.
I've had my arms broken, my legs broken, a deltoid muscle out of my right shoulder, plate in my head, part of my elbow gone out of my right arm.
If you're in the dead center of a 40-foot cage, the cat farthest from you is 20 feet, and he can make that 20 feet in one leap, and he's got you.
But that's part of the jazz, part of the appeal. It's thrilling because it might go wrong.
She said, my wish is to be killed by my animals.
She knew that she was going to die. There was this kind of disorder that was already going on at that show. And that night, 2 of her tigers attacked her.
No, 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 no! I like to do something that no other person can do. They say a woman didn't have brains enough to do that, and they dared me to do it, so here I am.